Hey guys, this is Lester. Someone suggested that I draw the biologist E.O. Wilson this time, and I think that's a good idea. So here we go. I looked him up on Wikipedia. Seems like kind of a friendly guy. So we're gonna start with the shape of the head, and I think this time we're gonna focus less on the guy himself than the background because I think we need to work on the backgrounds a little, judging from what your pictures are probably like. So he's, yeah, looks like kind of a friendly guy, just kind of sitting there in his office, not really doing anything. And we don't have to be as realistic with the hair this time. We can just kind of draw it on there, kind of wispy, I guess. Yeah, well combed, I would say well combed. Sitting there, wearing some kind of shirt thing. I don't really know what clothes are called. So it's just, yeah, got to get the body in there, get the general outline. And he's wearing a tie. And I thought it would be kind of funny since, this guy's a biologist who studies ants a lot. So I think it would be kind of funny if we drew, like, ants on the tie. It's kind of a little visual pun, like most of the best pictures have. So we draw some ants on the tie. Kind of crawling all over the place. I mean, like here's where the little visual joke comes in because, like, ants are like it makes it look like there's just like ants on the like that's just the pattern on the tie. It's got ants, but it would be kind of funny if we draw an ant crawling off of the tie, going who knows where. Just kind of like imply that all the other ants on the tie are real living ants also. And so he's just like sitting here in his office. He's got some kind of shelf thing in the background. So I don't know. Like I don't really know very much about science. It's kind of boring, I guess. But yeah, science just isn't really my thing. I'm more of an artist. But I have watched The Big Bang Theory a few times, and I thought that was pretty funny. It's just like about these little nerdy dudes running around figuring out the meaning of the universe or something, and it's kind of funny. I mean, they play Dungeons and Dragons. They're pretty much nerdy nerds. There are some books on the background of the shelf here. I mean, like I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watch that show like every night on Netflix. So some kind of black thing in the background. I don't know what it is. I'm just coloring it in. Some kind of nerdy science equipment here with like test tubes running out of it. Some kind of giant inspirational poster of ants on a leaf. So you can like switch to green for the leaf here just to make it pop. And I'm gonna use the paintbrush for this one instead of the paint bucket because that one kind of got screwed up last time, with the basketballs. So I'm just gonna make this part green and then draw some ants clambering all over it in brown. Speaking of colors, a lot of people have a favorite color, and I know I do. So what some people like to do is kind of hide their color in the background of the picture as kind of like a signature of their work, so that when someone sees a picture with that color in it, they'll be like, hey, Lester drew that, or whoever your name drew that. So it's kind of like a little signature, really. And like even if the painting's hundreds of years old, they'll be like, gee, I wonder if Lester drew that. It's kind of a joke because obviously I didn't, but they'll see it in the picture and they'll be like, that reminds me of this video I saw. So I mean, like, Mattel has trademarked Barbie pink, so you should probably do the same with your favorite color before all the good ones get taken. Some kind of speaker back here on the table. Alright. He's sitting in a chair, so we gotta color that in. Or let's hold off on that, actually. So, speaking of visual jokes, have you ever been watching James Bond or something, and the supervillain's, like, holding a cat? But, well, I think what we're going to do here even though he's not a supervillain, is have him be holding a gigantic ant. Just just like the cat, but he's holding an ant because this guy studies ants. I got 5 fingers. And he's holding this just like gigantic ant. Like if you saw this thing in real life, you'd freak out. Don't forget to make it have 3 body segments like real ants. And when you're drawing animals, it's really important to get the body shape right. Just so people can tell what it is. I mean, like I know ants are insects, not animals, but you just gotta, make sure it's accurate. We got a bunch of legs here. He's holding this big old ant with both arms. Because he's a human, he has 2 arms instead of 8 like an ant. So he's just like holding that in his lap, kind of a little visual pun there. He's got buttons on his jacket. Down that there. And you can't go wrong with getting as much detail as possible from the real picture into your picture here. Because the more details, the more it's closer to real life, and people can see what you're trying to draw. I don't know, what is this in this picture? It looks like, I think there's some sort of model of a giant ant. And hopefully it's not a real, and that'd be pretty scary. Yeah, so here's a bit of ant trivia for you, and that's that ants can lift like 500 times their own body weight. And what I never got about that is like why they... I mean, that's like how many ants are in a colony, right? Like, why don't they just like have one ant carry the entire ant colony around, and like it goes on ventures and finds food and stuff like that. Like, I think that would be a pretty good idea if they like. Why don't they do that? I guess they're not very smart, so they didn't think of it. But I don't know. If I was an ant, I would just like carry the entire anthill around and be like, anthill coming in. So I think that's pretty much it. That's Edward Osborne Wilson, the famous biologist. Thanks for whoever submitted this. And so I hope you guys have a good weekend. I know I will. So